Welcome to Reckless Paradise, everyone. I'm your host, Marissa. I'm here with my co-host, Dystro. Say hi.
Hello, everyone.
Happy Thursday, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good week. My week has been pretty good.
Yeah, and we are officially into, well, halfway into, I should say, at this point, spoopy season.
Poopy season. Oh my god. Yeah, we're officially halfway into spoopy season. And before we get started, I'd like to introduce our guest tonight. This is my friend Cory. Say hi.
Hi. Hey, I
Just-
did exactly what you told me to do. Said hi.
I know.
It's just how the way you did it just goes, hi.
Hi.
Well, I mean, can only do so
Hey.
much.
So
Hey,
this is my
you're
Cory from school. We've known each other since elementary school. We're still fucking friends somehow.
Eh. It's like a disease. You just never get rid of it.
that's true.
But it's okay. I always want you around. You'll always be my favorite STD.
Oh my
Hey,
no. Shut the fuck up. No. Stop. My family watches this shit.
Well, okay. So they should know who I am.
My sister
he just,
especially.
he just goes, hi, family.
How's your father? Miss him. He's great.
Great. He's doing good. Getting ready for winter, obviously. Anyways, we're getting into this fucking personal shit here on this show. Anyways, thank you guys for joining tonight. Hope you guys enjoy the show. We're continuing with our spoopy season theme tonight, and we're kicking it off with some serious topic. So, serial killers. Am I right, kids?
Oh,
Okay.
God.
You know what?
He just leaves.
Yeah, I'm done with it. All right. Toodles later. No, we're all
Fucking
good.
used. Okay, so I think I mentioned this on the last episode. What we're doing is we each have one killer we're going to talk about on the show. We're not going to get into like the little fine print details of these serial killers, just because circumstances of how much time we have, and just for the sake of guys who are watching it, I want to say for a fucking hour. Well, maybe they do. I don't know, but I don't. Right now, my throat is still a little hoarse, as you guys can tell. But yeah, we're just gonna give you guys the basic account of some of these serial killers that we're talking about. Like I said, each of us have one to talk about. We decided to go ahead and do some research about and just learn about them. In my case, I kind of know everything about mine, so.
Okay, that's not a cry for help or anything.
What? No, what? I get bored and I watch fucking crime shit. Do you mind?
I mean, I get bored too, but anyway.
Not that. It's like not that bored.
Yeah, not that bored. I mean, I'm not that obsessed.
Oh,
mean,
God.
It's a good topic to start on for spoopy season, or like Halloween season and stuff like that, because it's like it gets us into the Halloween spirit, I guess. In my case, but
And it's raining here, so
It's
it
raining
makes
here
it even
too.
more better.
perfect.
Makes it better.
Oh, okay. So, who would want to go and well, do we want to announce who we've got for our serial killers?
Do is like when it's our turn, we'll just go.
Just
Go
announce
right
it.
on the
Yeah.
fly. Yeah. So I'd like Cory to go first since he's our guest. That'd be nice.
Oh wow,
So.
throw me on the spot. I don't.
Well, you deserve
Hey,
the spotlight. You're the guest.
Well, of course I deserve spotlight. I'm Cory. I'm the best.
Yes, totally.
That's true.
Oh wow. Okay. And now, anyway, so I've been really into the new Netflix series of Dahmer. I don't know what it is, but I don't know.
It's super good.
It is so good, and I understand like some people like have such a, I don't know how to put it.
Fascination.
No, not the fascination, but like a tie to it, and like some people are like super duper angry about it, like they portrayed it the wrong way, or they're bringing up traumatic memories. Which, I mean, I think it's a good series because it tells, like, how do you go? This man killed like 17 or 18 people, and didn't get caught. Like, how do you do? Like, I don't. It brings up like corruption in the justice system and like or not segregation. I was gonna say segregation. That's terrible. But like, cause he targeted mostly black males, black gay males, which especially in like the time period, the police didn't care about that. They didn't care about being gay. They didn't care about the skin color. Like, it was still, it's just like not the way today was. And for him to get away with it from like the 70s to like 91, 92 is baffling. And for him to still be
That's-
alive like before, like my sister was born in 94 and he was still alive. So it's like, it's so crazy to me that it's not even like 20, 30 years ago. It's so crazy and it baffles me. I don't understand. Like, it brings up really good points about like the justice system, like I said, and it's just crazy. I don't know. Like, I have such a fascination with it. Like, what he did and
it-
how he got away with it and how like the police were still bringing people back to his apartment. It's just it's so nuts to me. I don't get it. Like,
I yeah, I get that because like after you're just telling like what you like were saying and stuff like that, it just makes me want to go watch it now.
Yeah, please me
so
too.
it is such a good, like, it is so heart-wrenching. Like, some of the stories that they do tell, they tell the story of every person that he has killed. I mean, the one main one was the Tony Hughes. Oh my God, he was deaf. This man was deaf. He could not hear. He signed, but he had big ambitions and big dreams to be a model. And he met Jeffrey at a gay bar. And like, it's just so baffling, like the stories that they tell. And the family, like, can you imagine like having to relive this like 20, 30 years later because someone
Yeah,
is so money hungry? And like,
God.
it baffles me. And his father too, like Jeffrey's father, like profiting off making a book from him. And he still loved his son. Like, I understand to love your son, but this man was so demented in the head. He ate these people. He drank their blood. He
Ew.
slept with their like dead corpse
corpses.
in an apartment building, no less. Like,
The
dead, rotting
stench.
meat. He made like he put people in barrels of acid in his apartment.
Oh my God.
Like, how does no one like bat an eye to this? And especially going on from like the 70s to 91, 92.
Holy
Like, how
crap.
does no one bat an eye from this? And what the story tells, I mean, it acts like the police just did not care. Like, the police don't care. And like I said, the corruption in the justice system, like, they didn't care that it was mostly black males, black gay males to even be exact. Like,
They just turned a blind eye.
didn't care. Yeah. And people who did cry out for help, like in the show, his neighbor, I don't remember her name, but she tried calling for help multiple times. And I guess she really wasn't his neighbor, but in the movie, they portrayed her as his neighbor. I guess they called multiple times on him and no one has ever went over and done anything about it, which is just more mind-boggling that you can call so much and they will not go, and just because they don't care. I guess it's just that time period, but it's not the point.
Right.
Yeah.
That's just so bizarre. It's like you know how like some method actors like get into their like characters and stuff like that. It's like you can think about it like the Suicide Squad movie that came out like a few years ago with Jared Leto and stuff like that.
Oh,
Like he
that's
got
ever.
into that he he got into that Joker character because he killed several like living things just to get into the mindset of Joker. I'm like, okay, you don't have to go that method acting Jared Leto. It's like, okay, you were not as great as Joker, okay?
I don't know. He played a pretty good Joker, but we'll talk about that some other time.
Now
But
this makes me want to like borrow somebody's fucking Netflix account because I don't
it
have
is
Netflix.
it is so good. I don't understand. Like, Evan Peters is a great actor. Do not get me wrong. This man,
Oh
like,
yeah, for sure.
the way the way he portrayed himself, the voice, it is so eerily similar to actually like Dahmer's voice, and it's so nuts. Like, it is crazy. It's a really good watch. It tells a really good story, in a sense of this is what has happened in our like not obviously not in our generation, but in our parents' generation. I mean, my parents grew up with that. I mean, my father was born in the 70s. He grew up around that, and I mean, obviously, it's not anywhere near us, but it's still crazy to hear about, and especially the way technology is advanced. Could you even get away with that now? Like, I feel like if you kill one person, you're in the jail like not even 2-3 hours later.
Mhm.
But this man did it for years, and no one batted an eye. No one thought him. It's just I don't know how people, and to be so psychotic in the head and not be found insane, like you're sleeping with these dead corpses. You're targeting like specific underage males and males that are overage, and it's just I don't know. It's so baffling.
Yeah,
But yes, it is good. It is a really good watch. I recommend it. I mean, if you're lighthearted to that, I mean, some people, it's traumatic to some people, but to me, it was really good.
It's like it would be like a recommended watch, especially from you, Cory, because it's like I kind of like watching like crime and thrillers and stuff like that, like on my own time,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I have my own like account through my aunt and stuff, and it's like she'll like because like she likes true crime and documentaries like that too,
Mm-hmm.
and like she's like the exact same like Marissa, like she like wants to visually see it and just try to solve the mystery for herself,
Mm-hmm.
but then it's like if she doesn't get like the right answer and so that she'll probably like, oh, okay, so I see why that happened, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like she feels like she's involved with solving the crime,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I think that's kind of cool because it's kind of open ended sort of things. Like, okay, like who do you think is the killer? It's like blah 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 blah. It's like like you have the usual suspects sort of thing, and it's like it could be like Auntie Sue, like over here is like she was knitting someday, and she just killed somebody with her needle. Just it's crazy that like you said, like he went so many years without getting caught.
And the only way he got caught was someone finally to his house and said what was going on, and they brought him back to the house only to find like graphic pictures of mutilated bodies, like bones and tools that had blood all over them. It's just
graphic.
Like, yeah, it's so graphic. This man lived in that spot for years and no one knew. Like I couldn't. I mean, I live in an apartment myself. I couldn't imagine my downstairs neighbor or the neighbor that's right next to me just being like a mass killer, and I walk by her every day, say hi. I couldn't imagine that she just has random human bones sitting in her her closet.
She's
talk
oh
about
no, that's just for
skeletons in your
decoration.
closet. Yeah. Like I wouldn't bat an eye around this time. Like, oh, decorations, haha. Oh, why do you still have it up? Why does it smell like rotting meat? But he went through great lengths to kill. Like he's killed at his grandmother's house. This man's killed at his own parents' house. He's killed at a random hotel. It's just so mind-blowing that he was never caught. He went through great lengths to not get caught up until the end because he was so reckless with drinking and the sleeping medication that he gave these people. He performed lobotomy tests on these people. He would drill holes into their head, and they still did not find him insane in court. He was fully sane. He pled insanity, and they did not give it to him. They charged him with 900 years in jail,
900
only for him to be
years?
killed a few years later.
Yeah.
What the
I think it was the life sentence per victim, and he had 18 victims in a span from like from 71 to 91. So that's 20 years. I mean, a good span.
Yeah, it's kind of like given like the life sentence sort of thing. It's like the equivalent of the.
Well, yeah, because where he was, they didn't have death penalty, so he couldn't get the death penalty. He wanted the electric chair. That's what he wanted, but they couldn't give it to him.
Right.
But he was so sane to the fact that he knew he was doing wrong, but he couldn't stop. Like, how does someone get so? I could never get to that. Yeah, I could never get to that point. I mean, some people obviously are. I mean, some people are just. It's just the way the mind works. I mean, you see things that aren't there, and you hear things that aren't there. I mean, like people with schizophrenia and all that. Like, I don't. I could never. I don't know. It's just it mind blows. It was such a good watch. And it told a true story too, which is nice in a way. But the families that have suffered through that, like I could never imagine. Like I couldn't. I mean, his youngest victim was 14 years old. That man would be
Jesus.
like in his 50s or 40s or 50s now.
Jesus.
Oh my
Like
god.
14 years old was his youngest victim because he had a fix that he had to fill,
Mm.
which also made him, a pedophile and a predator. He was a predator.
Yeah.
He was an awful person, and people are profiting off of that, which is, it sucks to say that, but in a way it's kind of good because it's telling us history can repeat itself. But look, I mean, the way things are now, I mean, I don't think it would. I mean, we have so much technology that it couldn't. I mean, there's cell phones, there's cameras on every street corner where you go. I mean, Jesus, you drive right through the road, like you drive through someone's like field, or you drive by a random field and someone's trail cam is recording you. Like
Yeah.
you will always get caught no matter what. Like no matter if you don't slip up at all or you cover your tracks, someone will catch you.
Yeah, that's true.
Just back then, I guess it's not. Anyway, I'm done with mine. I mean, I could go on, and I don't really want to because.
Well, plus we don't want to spoil everything for those who haven't seen the show.
Oh yeah,
yet.
definitely, definitely. I think if
But
I know Marissa's killer perfect, if I think I know who Marissa picked, it ties in with mine too, which is crazy.
Yeah. Now, I want to. Okay. Now, like, I need to. Well, obviously, I need to borrow somebody's account. Like, I'm gonna go fucking knock on somebody's door and beg at this point. I want to. Yes.
And I'm telling you, Evan Peters did a really good job. He did a really good job portraying Dahmer, and
he's a
was
really good actor too.
He was. Yes, he is. It was my first movie I watched by him, and it was so good. It was really good, and I'm gonna be watching confession tapes with him, and I can't wait to watch that. It's him sitting in jail confessing to everything that he did, and I can't wait to watch it.
Oh my god.
But I mean, he had a really screwed up childhood too. But I don't feel like his childhood could have made him the way he was. I mean, like I said, I don't want to spoil it, but cutting up roadkill in your garage with your father, like going to great lengths to not solidify, but how do I put it? Like with the acid, like burning their flesh off of the bones so you can see what's inside them, like holding their organs with your bare, like and his father supported that. And his father still supported it till like he was in his 20s and 30s. It's just crazy. But like I said, I'm done with mine. I went from the beginning of this. I took almost 20 minutes to talk about mine.
It's okay.
That's fun.
Jeffrey Dahmer, right? Like that was.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, Jeffrey Dahmer.
Right? Okay.
No, you're right.
Say it the other way around.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
The other way around.
Psycho killer.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
That song is actually in this too, which is
Are you
amazing.
fucking serious? I love that
song. That's if you're looking on TikTok, that's where the song came from. It's from that show.
Wow, I love that song. All right, Dystro, do you want to go next? I want to leave mine for last.
Okay, I'll go.
Yes.
Wow, I've never seen her.
Listen, this is fun.
So excited.
This is fun. I like this.
So, okay, I was telling Marissa about this. I was torn between two people, Charles Manson and the Zodiac Killer. Now, I think the Zodiac Killer is kind of like, he's well known in the media and stuff like that. Like, they still haven't caught him. But it's like, he's kind of like a tougher subject to handle. So I went with Charles Manson. Now, this is one of the most famous criminals in history. And he had his family, which was a cult, and had a very cult following, should I say. He's carried like a series of murders at 4 different locations, and the most well-known one was the film actress Sharon Tate. Now, many people probably do not know who Sharon Tate is. Like she was a very, very well known actress at the time. it was like, like during 1971, like he was convicted of first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder for deaths of 7 people, including Sharon Tate. It said the prosecution contended that while Manson never directly ordered the murders, his ideology was like an overt active conspiracy. He spent like half of his life in correctional institutions too. Like, and plus he was a singer and songwriter too.
Wait, what? Hold up.
Yeah, he was a singer / songwriter, and he knew Dennis Wilson from the Beach Boys.
Oh my god.
There was Dennis Wilson from the Beach Boys. He introduced Manson to the record producer, and this is in 1968. The Beach Boys recorded Manson's song "Cease to Exist," but was renamed to "Never Learn Not to Love" as a single B-side.
Without credit to Manson at all.
Yeah, without his
Oh
credit
my
at all.
god. He's a fucking musician, but yet he fucking murdered people? Like, what?
Yeah, but his actual true real name was Charles Miles Maddox. But like he has since passed away, like almost 5 years ago, coming up next November.
Wow.
He was 83 when he passed, and he was in Bakersfield, California. But like he would often talk about the Beatles, including their 1968 album. And it's like he felt like guided by his interpretation of the Beatles lyrics that adopted the term helter skelter to describe an impending apocalyptic race war.
What the fuck?
So it's like he felt guided by that interpretation of the lyrics from the Beatles and stuff. It's just like, I'm like, okay.
How in the actual hell? Like, I'm sitting here. I'm sitting here as a Beatles fan. Just like I'm like thinking of like that by the Beatles that the lyrics are like so fucking like innocent, like pure. Like how?
I like how you can think of 3 Beatles songs. I can only think of 1.
Listen, I'm a Beatles fan. Okay, I love.
And that's Come Together. That's the only one I can think of.
I think of Yellow Submarine right off the bat.
Yeah, that's the first one
I didn't like. I never like. Okay, not off topic, but I never liked Yellow Submarine.
Really?
Never. Nope. I don't know what it was. I'm not a really big fan of the Beatles either, though. Like I don't.
Paul McCartney. I love George Harrison. They're like my 2 favorites right there.
I don't know. I'm more into Kevin Rudolph, but we'll save that one for another time.
Don't even fucking start with me, Cory. Fuck you.
All right. So his childhood was kind of a little bit on the rough edges. Okay, so bear with me. He was born on November 12th, 1934. And do you know how old his mother was when she had him?
Do you want us to guess?
Yeah, just guess.
Oh,
just give me a random number.
Okay, I'm gonna guess she's like in her 50s.
What?
What'd you say, Marissa?
I don't even know. I just said let Cory go first. Let him guess first.
I said
Cory, you said 50s?
Yeah.
What do you think, Marissa?
I'm thinking like freaking teens.
You are correct, Marissa.
No, of course she is.
But how old do you think she was in her teens, Marissa?
Oh god, I'm thinking like maybe 15.
I'm gonna guess 13.
Ding ding ding.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what?
Listen, I'm the prediction wizard here, okay? Like I know everything. Like I fucking predict.
Okay.
Like, tomorrow.
All right.
Okay.
All
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So his mom, when she had him, was 15 years old.
Wow.
It's whack. Was it like? I don't mean to say it like this, but was it rape or was it planned?
hard to say, but like Manson's biological father appears to have been Colonel Walker Henderson Scott Sr. Say that 5 times fast.
Not you having the wiki page pulled up.
Yeah, well, yeah, I do. But it's like he filed a paternity suit against his mother, and like he had a reputation as a con artist and stuff. But he had 2 children, but had 2 different wives. When Charles Manson was younger. The first wife was married to him for 3 years, and then the second one was married to him for 4 years, and then had 2 children. I'm like, okay. But the criminal charges were 9 counts of murder and 1 count of conspiracy to commit murder, which I previously said. The penalty was death and commuted to life in imprisonment from 1972 to 2017.
Wow.
And some of the victims were 2 of them were murdered, and then 7 were murdered by proxy, and then there was 4 arsons.
Oh my god. Arsons?
So, yeah, 4 arsons. Let's just say that he was psycho.
I guess
at this point. Because, he's been to prison before, several times. And, he went to prison in 1951 and then got 5 years of parole in 1958. And then, and then the exact same year, by November, he was pimping a 16-year-old girl and was receiving additional support from a girl with wealthy parents.
What the fuck is... What in the... What? Oh my god.
This is what the Wikipedia says.
I know. It's just what the fuck is this guy thinking? What
It's
the hell?
It's like me and Cory's. They're both fucked up, but then yours is probably gonna be super innocent sort of thing. No, I know. But it's his followers were, there was a former musician and actor, former musician and pornographic actor, and several other people. He had some connections within the acting in movie industry probably too. It's it's crazy.
Crazy.
So you said he died. This was recent too, which is really weird. This was more this was in our lifetime too, which is even more crazy.
That's a little bit
our lifetime. I thought they released him from prison. Does anyone remember that, where he was released because he was too old to? Or am I just wrong?
I think you're right about that.
Because I thought there was this whole thing going on where he was being released because he was so old.
Okay, yeah. It says
I'm wrong.
On January 1st, 2017, he was being held at a prison when he was rushed to the Mercy Hospital in downtown Bakersfield because he had gastrointestinal bleeding. But it's then he was considered too weak for surgery and stuff. And then he returned to prison on then he returned to prison on January 6th. But he died from cardiac arrest resulting in respiratory failure, was brought up by colon cancer at the hospital.
So he was not released. He was just, in and out of the hospital during the year of 2017.
Then
Yeah.
again, it was all probably a big fake thing too. I don't know. I just remember hearing something that he was released from jail because he's too
He was
old,
too
can't
old.
kill. Like, I mean, I don't care how old you are. If you have a psycho tendency, you're gonna do something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Manson now intrigues me. I wish they would do something like they did with Dahmer. I would love to watch that.
Yeah.
They have several documentaries about him. I know that.
I think I've seen one on TV about it. And I didn't watch it, obviously. It was just like a little like trailer for it. So I don't know. I'm going to look into it.
There's like Inside the Manson Cult, The Lost Tapes, Charles Manson, The Final Words, and it was narrated by Rob Zombie of all people too. Inside the Manson Cult, The Lost Tapes, narrated by Liev Schreiber, and it says it looks into the Manson family. I lived with the killer, the Manson family, Charles Manson, the funeral, and then there's another one, final one, Manson, the women, and it features like a whole bunch of ladies that I guess like that was like around him.
Mhm.
I guess. Oh, it was the 3 that were in his cult too. But it was like a special on like Oxygen. So.
Couldn't
But there's like different like fiction inspired by Manson too. Like whole bunches of it. It's like, oh, do you know the show American Horror Story?
I've heard of it.
I could never get into it.
On American Horror Story Cult, it was the 7th season. It was on the 7th season of that show. So I guess it's like it told the Manson story and stuff like that. Anyway, I'm probably drailing on too long here. But it's like I wanted to do Charles Manson because it's like he's more well known than like the other person that I was gonna have. So it's like might as well just go with somebody that I kind of have known beforehand.
Right.
So
that's what I did.
But that's my character or my guy.
That was Charles Manson, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, Charles Manson.
Boo. Okay.
The audience applauses.
The crowd goes mild.
Mild. The crowd goes crickets.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
Anyway,
so
Marissa,
we're on to the final one. This is probably a good one to end with, anyways. Everybody knows this one at this fucking point. If you don't, you're living under a rock. I'm talking about Ted Bundy, one of the most.
I thought you were talking about
serial
the other
killers
one.
of all fucking time.
I thought you had John Wayne Gacy on the mind.
Nope, I had Ted Bundy because I have seen so many fucking documentaries about him. My dad told me anything about him as well because like this kind of happened like while my dad was in existence. My dad came into this world in 1964. So
wow, dating your father. God, you're making him sound old over there. Don't do that.
I know. Oh my god.
Hey, my mom was born in 1968, so.
My mother was 1969, so I mean, hey.
69.
Anyway,
nice.
I thought you were doing John Wayne Gacy. I was excited to listen about that, but Ted Bundy is a good. I thought you said you were gonna do Gain Gacy.
No.
Shut up! I said that wrong.
Wasey.
Shut up! I said it wrong. I thought we were gonna just roll with it, but I guess not. Anyway. All right. So Ted Bundy. Continue, Marissa.
Thank you. So what I found interesting about Bundy, like the first thing I fucking read was that he was born in Burlington, Vermont, which is literally a state east of me. Well, us, Cory, I should say, from New York. He's literally a fucking state east of us in Burlington. Like what? He was born November 24th, 1946. He had a pretty rough childhood as well. He ended up growing, in other words, not liking his mother. He's had a very troubled childhood. He wasn't all this up, in my opinion, just based on what I've sseen and read and stuff. He was into like looking at true crime cases that had to do with murdering at an early age. Basically into the whole rated R stuff at an early age, which was not normal for a kid at the time. He was always considered a very handsome looking person, probably one of the most, like, I'm not glorifying a serial killer, probably one of the most handsome serial killers of all time. I'll get into why people say that later on. But he's considered a sociopath. Not surprised. Most serial killers are. Before I continue, I feel like most of, like, especially in this case right here with Ted Bundy, most of these serial killers turn hate due to the fact they've had childhood trauma. That's what I've noticed about a lot of these cases that we've been talking about tonight, or even that I've known about. It's mainly because of childhood trauma that they have been through, which is sad to think in that way. It's sad, but
I feel like you don't hear anything about a regular serial killer coming from like a middle class family who like had a Lunchable in their lunch every day for food. Like, I don't think you hear about that. It's always, oh, well, his mother was a borderline alcoholic and his father was never there. They bounced around all the time. He killed dead animals and then went on to people,
Yeah, it's like yeah, it's like you don't hear, like you said, Cory, like, somebody from a middle class family and stuff. It's like, it's like the people that we're talking about and stuff, it's just like they were like mentally fucked
in the head.
Like fucked in the head by like childhood trauma, or like, their dad abused them or something like that, or
Right.
your mom was an alcoholic and stuff like that. It's like, it's just like, damn.
Like, the most traumatic thing I've ever had is my phone stolen in middle school, but I mean,
I'm not even gonna get into my stuff because it is too personal.
well, Marissa's Marissa. Continue on. Here's to us.
Shut the fuck up.
Had to throw it in. Anyway, continue, Marissa. Ted Bundy.
Yes, Ted Bundy. Thank you. Now, the reason why he's so notorious is because he went on a kind of like a murder / rape kind of spree across 7 different states with over 30 plus women. He always targeted, here's a little fascinating part about him, he always targeted women who had their hair parted down the middle. Why? I could never figure that out. Even his girlfriend at the time had her hair parted down the middle. Now, I don't know why he was fascinated with that kind of look. I really don't know what was going on to his head. It's interesting to kind of look into. But yeah, he killed over 30 women. He would kind of lure them to his vehicle. Like, for example, I think one in the documentary I was looking at, and we'll call it, he was playing the role as if he was hurt. Like, he had like crutches. Like, he'd actually like go out and get crutches and pretend that he was hurt. And it would lure women to his car. Like, he would lure them back to his vehicle, and then he would kill them and rape their dead bodies, pretty much. And with their dead bodies, it's fucked up to say, and honestly fucked up to even think about or even imagine. Like, going back to Dahmer, Cory, with what you were talking about, how he was doing this kind of the same thing with the corpses and stuff, and like sleeping with them and all that. Weird. And I think even Ted Bundy beheaded a few of his victims and kept their heads, which is fucked up as hell. Like, I'm getting like goosebumps just thinking about it. Christ. Yeah. So he with 30 plus women. He killed 30 plus women across 7 different states, all in a spur of like maybe 4. He didn't get caught for a little while. However, the youngest victim he had was 12 years old.
Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
12 years old. I believe it was actually the last victim he had. The very last victim he killed and did that to was 12 years old. Fucking crazy. And it's scary for me to think about because I have a sister who's 13. So, like, oh my God. If someone did that to my sister, ballistic.
Just go ape shit.
Fucking ape shit. I'm not even kidding. So, now, however, there have been victims that have survived to tell the tale. There was one victim who got lured into his vehicle. to, you know, get a ride or something. And she actually escaped. She escaped from him, trying to literally fucking suffocate her. She escaped and lived to tell the tale. She actually told her story on the documentary I watched. And then there was another couple of ladies who, this was down in Florida. This was after he escaped or whatever from prison. I'm going to get to it in a minute. There was a group of ladies who were staying in like kind of like a girls kind of like, I don't want to say like a college. It's kind of more like a club. I can't remember what it was. It's one of those like kind of things or whatever. Those, I think it's a sorority. Yeah, the sorority club, something like that. And he actually ended up killing one of the girls, but two, like there was 3 girls involved, I believe. One of them died. The other 2 survived from their injuries. He literally like blood, like literally fucking like I don't even know what he used to fucking try to kill them, but he literally. Or like I can't even like pronounce it. Oh, fuck. Like what's the word that you use like when you hit someone in the head and literally like their head fucking gets crushed?
Bludgeoned?
Yes, that's what I was trying to say. I didn't know how to pronounce it. He literally fucking bludgeoned this girl to death, and the other 2 survived, even though they had horrific injuries. Yeah, and they survived, and they told their tale on the documentary I watched. I believe, where the fuck did I see it? I don't know if it was A&E. It might have been A&E. I'm not 100% sure. I'm gonna have to look into that. It's a really good story. But yeah, so this fucker escaped prison, not once, but twice. Yeah, he was arrested the first time back in 1975. He in 77, and then got arrested that same year in 77, and escaped again that same year at the end of the year in 77. Got caught early on in 1978, but was kept there for good. He did not escape time. Basically because he was listening to his peers and his prosecutor and stuff like that, telling him not to escape this time, like just stay put. I don't know how they thought they were going to win this case. This bastard got sentences galore and eventually was sentenced to the death penalty. He was executed by electric chair in 1989, January 24th to be exact. He was executed around 7:15. I remember seeing that in the documentary I'd watched. Now, what's fucked up is while he was in prison, there were women writing to him, like actually wanting to pursue a relationship with this fucking asshole.
See,
Like, he is like, yeah, I get it. He is good looking, but like,
No, it's funny that you say that because they did the same thing for Dahmer too. Like he had fans. Like they would send him money in jail. They would write him like, "Oh well, if you give me this, I'll do this." It's like that's funny that you bring that up because Dahmer was the same way. Like, how can you have fans? That's the most crazy. Oh my god! It
like
just
you're
bugs me.
asking to get killed, like.
And Dahmer embraced. I'm sorry to like take the shine off you, but like Dahmer embraced that too. He's like, "Well, my fans love me. My fans love me." Like that. That's so. Oh, it's just crazy to me. That's just weird. It's funny that you bring that up though. That's cool though.
It's just like I don't know. If I was alive during that time, you wouldn't fucking catch me sending no fucking letter to a fucking serial killer in jail. No, like
Nope.
I don't
Like-
even care how
like-
hot he is.
Nope.
I would have been like, you know what? I'm gonna go to that person. I'm gonna kill my motherfucking self.
Right.
Like-
Me and Marissa were born in the right generation. We don't know how to write a letter.
Oh fucking Christ!
I'll send an email before I write a letter.
right?
Wow.
But you
seriously,
better not
like-
break out of that prison again.
Yeah.
Seriously though, like he killed a fucking like the most mind-boggling thing about it is like in my opinion is the fact he did this to a fucking 12-year-old. That tells you how low this fucking guy was willing to stoop. Now, again, that's like the biggest fucking thing. A fucking 12-year-old. Like, are you that fucking like psychotic in the head to go after a fucking like that? Especially wanting to kill her. Like, fucking Christ. What happened was I think she was like I think they're at like a school play or something, and she was like outside, and he took her and killed her. Like where, why, how? Like oh my god.
It's like, where were the
Just,
parents at?
yeah,
First
like
off,
that's what I'm thinking. Like, where the fuck are the parents? Like, oh my god.
he's like, okay, little Tammy, it's like, go on, and stuff. That's like,
But
hello.
and again,
And
back then that was the thing. Like parents didn't care where their kids were. Like, oh, as long as you're home before the like
Streetlights come
the
on.
street lights. Yeah, exactly. Like my mother said the same thing. Like when they were younger, they would be out all day. Like they never went home. They'd be out playing and like far away from home. Like everyone knew everyone though back then, at least in our town.
Oh yeah, my mom
It's-
and my dad. It's like was the exact same thing. Like as soon as those streetlights came on, it's like, oh yeah, your ass is going home.
And like now, like I'd be so afraid to even have my child play. I don't have kids, but I'd be just so afraid to have like my own child or even my own niece just to play outside anymore because you never know anymore.
Right, I get that.
It's just so weird. It's crazy though.
It's just like all of these women that he did this to were fucking beautiful too. Like they're just absolutely gorgeous. Even the 12-year-old, like she looks so innocent and like full of life. Like it looked like a bright future ahead of her. Some of these college students too. So like it's just I don't know, like it's
I
just
mean,
Again, had a
crazy.
preference.
it's like it's a handsome ass dude try to get with some handsome ladies and stuff like that. It's like that's a
Handsome.
kind of it's like some beautiful ladies and stuff like that.
Handsome
It's like
ladies.
handsome beautiful ladies. Shut
Handsome.
up, Marissa.
That's like saying
Shut-
beautiful men.
Hey, there are beautiful men out there.
Oh, I know
Yes,
you're
there
talking
are.
about me.
Okay, fine. Yes, Cory. Whatever floats your
Yes,
boat.
yes. Oh wow. Whatever floats
But-
my goat, right?
Oh God, but it's like you get what I'm saying though. It's like
Yeah.
No, I
it's
get it.
like he's a handsome dude. He's going after some beautiful ladies, and like they they attract to each other and stuff like that. It's just like, and then it's like he just takes them home and kills them, and he just gets like a kick out of that. It's like same thing with Dahmer sort of thing. It's like like it's like he kept doing it for so long, and it's like your person Marissa broke out of prison twice, so he had to know the plan to get out that second time too.
Right.
It's like
Oh my god.
it's
He's like dollar store El Chapo breaking out of prison all the time.
Oh my god.
he probably had somebody on the inside too.
Probably. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it.
I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. It's like all of our people. It's like just hearing all these stories and stuff. It's like, man, it's like I'm glad that we grew up in like a generation that we didn't have to deal with that. So it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard of a serial killer since. I mean, like, especially
Yeah.
not in my lifetime. I mean, obviously people have killed. I've heard about those, but not like a mass murder like this dude. Oh, this dude has 40 hiding in his house and no one knew. Like, I don't think I've heard of
Right.
that in a long time.
Yeah.
So that's my dude. That's it. That's all three dudes, I guess.
Yeah. So who do you think out of all of us, who do you think was the worst? Like taking in everything that we know now about everyone, who do you think is the worst?
That's a good question for our viewers, to be honest. What do you guys think? Out of all three of these fucked up bastards, which one of these three do you guys find is probably the worst out of all three of these? You think it's Ted Bundy? You think it's Charles Manson, or you think it's Line?
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Jeffrey Dahmer. Because again, I don't really know much. I don't know much about. Look into him more.
That's why you have Cory on this show.
Yeah.
Well, I need to get Netflix. So I could like watch the whole fucking. What you guys are talking about?
It's like I think my person probably kind of like gets off kind of easy because it's like he did murder, yes, but he didn't go to the extreme length like y'all's did.
I mean,
Right.
he was a cult leader. I mean, people followed him, so I mean,
Yeah,
personally,
just-
me, I'm gonna stick with Dahmer because I mean, over the span of 20 years,
Right.
And it's just crazy to me that you could kill so long.
And get away with it.
Yeah, and
scot-free.
like Marissa said, Ted Bundy's only been doing it what 5-6 years.
Right.
I mean, but in a
Yeah.
5-6 year span for 30 people versus 20 years for 18. I mean,
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
so I mean,
In
who
7
was more
states.
that too? I mean, Dahmer only did it in Ohio and Milwaukee. So
I know, like, Bundy did it, like, Florida, Colorado, Utah, I think Montana even at one point. I don't fucking remember. There was a lot. Fucking crazy.
and he drove a bug. Remember that one too. Bring that up. He
Oh
drove the
yeah, I
bug.
remember that.
Okay, I remember that now too. Wow.
The bug was cute. I seen the bug online. It was so cute. I like the bug. But yeah, no. Yeah. But yeah, I say Dahmer. I mean, that's just me. That's my personal
I don't
thing.
really have a legitimate answer because I gotta look into the other two before I can even make a solid answer. Like that's probably that's gonna be like my hobby this winter. I'm gonna like go and watch a whole bunch of this fucking shit. I'm gonna go rewatch Ted Bundy's stuff.
But yeah. Happy Halloween.
Yeah, happy Spoopy season.
Happy-
Include our serial killers episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. I am so sorry it's so long. This is our longest episode yet, but it's because it's a fucking good episode, and I'm going to say
Yeah,
it's
it's
probably
'cause I'm
my
here.
new
'Cause I'm here.
favorite.
Yes, because I'm
My
here.
favorite. So yes, we're gonna have to have you back here, Cory. That's for sure.
Yeah. I enjoy doing this. I don't mind. It's nice to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad you joined.
It only took a year, but you know, it's nice to be here now.
It's okay. We haven't only been doing this for 10 months.
Close enough.
Damn.
Damn, Cory. But yeah, so we're gonna wrap this up. So, Dystro, song of the night.
Yes.
So, what is your song of the night?
Oh
for
yes, I
tonight?
do. With the recent bringing back of a very, very well-known band that Marissa and I both know, Blink 182.
Oh my god.
Since they're coming back, and they drop a new song tomorrow, I'm going to go with a Blink 182 song. Now, there's one to probably choose from, but I am going to go with a classic. I am going to do Adam's song by Blink 182.
Ooh, that's a hard-hitting one right there for me. Damn. The thing is, we talked about this song too on our Blink 182 stuff. If you guys haven't seen it, go ahead and check that out. That song is for a lot of people, including myself. Even though I really don't want to get into it right now because it's a little bit of a trigger-sensitive topic. But yeah, if you guys actually want to know more stuff about Blink 182 and that song in particular, go ahead and check out the stuff we've done on them in the past. So listen to Song of the Night, Adam's Song by Blink 182. Be sure to click on the top right-hand video, top right-hand corner of the video, pops up towards the end. Now it's time to announce this Sunday's episode. So this Sunday, I believe we're going to continue with our Nostalgia Days series. We're going to wrap up Commercial Days, which is an episode that we had did. Oh, my cousin Nate, who joined us. We need to do part 2. I think it's just going to be us for this time, Dystro.
All right.
So we're gonna wrap up Commercial Days for Nostalgia Days this Sunday. So if you guys continue with the whole Commercial Days trend with us, come join us on Sunday. It's gonna be a good episode. Got a lot of commercials still to talk about left on my list. So
Oh yeah.
yeah. All right. So if you guys very end, we greatly appreciate your support as usual. Be sure to go and follow us on social media by clicking on the link in the description below, which will take you to our link tree, which has everything you need. Just Dystro's gaming YouTube channel, Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, you know the drill. Go ahead.
You have a TikTok?
Yes, we have a Reckless Paradise TikTok. You didn't know that, Cory?
No, now I know. I knew you had everything else but a TikTok. Now I know.
I will send it to you.
Yeah, and I have a TikTok as well too.
You know, that's what I'm interested. No, I'm joking.
Oh my God. Anyways, so be sure to go follow us on social media, keep up to date with everything about the podcast. And that's it. So once again, thank you, Cory, for joining us. We're glad that you were here with us. We had a good time. So
yeah, I did too. It was fun. It's a really good day to wind down, or it's a good thing to do to wind down.
Yeah, especially on a rainy Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
And like Cory said, like go watch Dahmer if you haven't yet.
Yes.
So good. so good. Watch it. I'll watch all of it. Watch everything you can about any serial killer. It'll be interesting.
Oh my god, that'd be freaking funny. It's like Cory. It's like you just do like an audio track on like the Dahmer like series and stuff of that, and stuff of that's like I could just imagine you just doing that, being like.
It was a good story. That's the thing. Like, I've never really been into like massive true crime things, but it was a really good story.
But yeah,
in a sense of good story, it was told in a decent way rather than it's not a good story, but it's a good story.
Right.
Right.
Anyways, thank you again, Cory, for joining us, and thank you for joining us tonight. And we'll catch you guys this Sunday. Peace.
Peace.